Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, I've got this flower garden going, the software. I put in the 84 spins. This is where we're at. When you first get started, it can only identify the sleepers, and it will. And what I've, just to get this out of the way, since it's right in front of me here, what I've decided is that the best thing to do is to bet into the sleepers as well as into the when they wake up. Um, and I mean, it's a statistical fact. I mean, there's people that are very enamored of the law of the third, uh, to apply it to everything and at all times. And so they say, no, 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 you can't bet sleepers. No, 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 there's a 66% chance of them continuing to sleep. Well, the fact is that on every spin, every sleeper has an increased chance of awakening. That's a fact. And you and there's going to be deep sleepers no matter what. It's just the way it is. It's just, you know. But anyway, we start off here. We're what is it now? Dividing our risk. We're diversifying our risk here by betting five different bets: 0, 9, 18, 35, and 30. Okay, that's to diversify. And then these are going to wake up, and we're going to continue to bet them. Other numbers are going to wake up. Will become 84s, and they will wake up. Okay, the first one that's slated here appears to be number three. It's because it hit on turn 12. So in about 12 turns, number three, if it doesn't hit and within the next 12 spins or so, it's going to be a bet. We're going to be betting number three. So, and it's just the system's going to track it all and it just highlights the bets. And before we get started, I wanted to point out the post that just like inspired me to do this. This guy right here, this guy Cone, is like amazing. Um, and here, I'll show you right where it like totally got my attention. And here it is, right here. He's got a master's degree in physics, so he's been studying physics forever. Probabilistic expectation combined with linear algebra when he calculates the expected position of an electron in space time. Amazing. What an amazing concept. It makes the entire game of roulette like an atom. Okay. And so that just like totally got me thinking. And I started working on because he had asked me like what's the chances of getting seven in a row 7 times in a row, like bizarre question that's like 664 billion to 1. So I start working on it and then I just start thinking about his algebra and electrons and I'm thinking, dang God, let me try to look some of this stuff up and see what I can come up with. um, and um, yeah, and then I started studying. Here's the wiki. This is a wiki on movement of electrons, and there's you can actually cross off certain areas. You can have zero probability that electrons will land in a particular place. So that's an interesting concept because what we're doing is we're predicting where the ball's going to land. Okay, and if we can point out areas that have a zero probability, that's amazing. Okay, and that can be a way to increase our odds. But here's what really got me. This hydrogen wave function talks just what he was talking about here. Okay, and this is what they call probability densities. Okay, so in other words, they're showing what the probabilities are of an electron landing in this hydrogen, okay, and the hydrogen atom. And it's amazing these patterns that are made. It makes a pattern, like these geometrical patterns. It's like, wow, it's pretty amazing. Um, okay, but anyway, here is the hydrogen orbitals. This is like it's going around and around and around. Okay, and these are the patterns that it's making statistically. It's really amazing. Um, all right, and the energy level determines the orbital it occupies. So how much energy it has determines how what its pattern it's going to make. And then here's the part: the color reflects the probability of finding the electron at a given position. So this means that when you have this white hot right here, this is a very the highest probability the electron will be here. Okay, but if you're down in the purple, then the lowest probability of an electron being there. Okay, so and it's all based on the energy of that electron. So that's the idea behind his system. And so then I went and I started thinking about it. And so I just realized that, you know what? If roulette is an atom, we can say that numbers that repeat have high energy levels. Numbers that sleep have low energy levels. And so that this and then can this affect the chances of a number appearing more than 1 in 37? Okay, so I started thinking about that, about fluctuating energy levels. Okay, and then the wheel, if it's like an atom, the nucleus of an atom is what the electrons are spinning around. Okay, and so every one of the um, every one of the 37 numbers is a like an electron spinning around the nucleus, which is expectation. And so every number is supposed to appear in 1 in 37 spins. Okay, the energy level of the quote unquote energy level of these numbers is based on its performance versus 1 in 37. If you have more than 1 in 37, you have a high energy level. If you have less than 1 in 37, you have a lower energy level. Okay, so we can determine these energy levels and then display it graphically. Like here you have the colors. Well, here you have colors too. Here's starting on spin 0. Here's spin 7. Here's spin 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. Just as an example. I mean, that's just random. I mean, you can change these numbers, but the colors would, this is like just like a made up example, but these colors would represent the energy level of the number, how many times it appears. And most likely 49 spins isn't enough. You'd have to go, I don't know. I mean, maybe you could do 9 spins or 7. Here I did 7. So here it hit once. So this it was like impossible that it would be yellow like this. If this is all we're looking at, okay. But if we were tracking like multiple cycles, then yeah, this could be tan right here. And then it didn't appear again, and it still didn't appear, so we're depressed. And then it hit again, but overall, the number of hits is still below the 1 in 37 overall. And then finally we hit again, and now we have a high energy level, so we've awakened, if you will, and then now we're at the high energy level again. And we're going to go through another cycle. So you see, I mean, this could be a system could be designed around these orbitals. In other words, these number performances around expectation. Okay, and then I remembered, at every number on the wheel is like an electron spinning around the atomic nucleus of expectation. And then I remembered that I had this system, and I have orbitals, if you will. Now that I think about it, I have orbitals that I've been observing that I call snapbacks. But I made up a name for it. Like these nuclear physicists, they make up these theories that they have that they observe, these electrons, behaviors of electrons, and they had to put their name on it. So I made up one. I have my magnetic pulse theory, which is so I put my name on it, and so then, but this is real though. If a number appears with a very slow orbit, that means it's underperforming, right, versus expectation. The chances of it repeating in the same once it wakes up, once it shows up after a very slow orbit, once it appears, the chances of repeating that slow orbit again or becoming slower are statistically reduced. So in other words, it's going to increase its statistical performance, and that's why my magnetic pulse theory. I'm not the only one that's discovered it. I mean, I discovered it on my own, but other people have too. I know that because Martin Blakey um, talked about it. he talked about betting the sleepers when they awaken. So I mean, other people have figured it out too. And what is this? It's this system here tending the flowers, and so this is going to track the numbers and let us know what to bet. And we're going to start off betting the cycle as it goes through sleeping to awakening to hitting again. Then it'll remove, and then it'll just remove the highlighting. So let's go ahead and demonstrate now that I've done all that. Let's go and demonstrate. Let's bet our numbers. 18. Oh, I gotta show you Lewd Hog. 30. Okay, so there it is. We're betting betting five numbers. Okay, now on Lewd Hog, okay, this is lewdhog.com. This is the progression calculator. All right, and here is 35 to 1. Okay, we're going to bet five numbers. So in this thing right here, this drop down, you just select five, and then you hit run. Okay, and if you have show all, which you can't see that in here, but it says show all. There's a little checkbox, show all. Anyway, you click that too, and then it'll show you all this. And so what we see is that it shows, and it also shows the spins. You can't see it once again. Let me see if I can just. No, it makes it worse. Oh my gosh. Okay, there. Um, See, it says spin number. Let me see if I do one more. Okay, see, it says spin number. Okay, and this is spin number one. This is spin number two. Spin number three. Spin number four, and it tells you what to bet. There's the progression. Okay, and then after seven spins, we're gonna bet three times at 2 units, and then we're gonna bet. You just follow it. You spin 11. We're gonna bet three. Okay, and this is all based on um, five numbers. We're betting five numbers in this drop down, and it show all. Make sure to click that so it'll show you what the progression is. Okay, and so let me drop this back down to 100. Oops. There we go. Okay. And let's get up here and start betting. Oh, so just checking the thing, we're going to bet seven times at 1 unit. Okay, and that's how I track that with this little thing here. This doesn't do it. I have to do it here. I think it's just easier to do it that way for me. And so let's start betting. These are sleepers, so this is probably the most vulnerable time in this when we first begin. It's probably the most vulnerable time because we're betting all sleepers. We don't have any. These are all in slow orbits right now, if you will. These numbers are in slow orbit. So let's go ahead and we've diversified. We're betting five of them, not just one. So here we go. And so let's see, that was number 24. Okay, so it's going to start tracking it. Spin number two, here's 32. Okay. Spin number three, it's number 19. Okay, that's how you do it. You just keep counting the spins and entering the results. Okay. All right, and 8. So I think we're doing 7, right? Yeah. So we're gonna do 7 spins. So we keep going. Okay, number 14, and finally number 2. Okay, so now in the progression we're gonna double, and we're gonna bet 3 times. So here we go. 34. Okay. Boom. Okay, so that's going to be 0. That hits. All right, so now what we need to do is, now this is marked. In other words, this has awakened. This has all of a sudden now it has a potential of a faster orbit, and that's my theorem. That's my theory that it's going to has a higher percentage of actually increasing the speed of its orbit. In other words, hitting sooner. And so that's this theory. So what we need to do is we need to nothing's changed. We're just going to go back down to one chip on everything. Okay. And see, now the statistical picture is better. Okay, why? Because we had 9 spins on these numbers already. All these numbers have been spun 9 times. Only one of them is hit. So these numbers are stronger. The numbers here are stronger. And this particular number is now, um, according to my theory, statistically more likely to hit. Okay, and that's a snapback. It's a fact. It's an absolute fact. It's not even a theory. I can demonstrate it. I can prove it. I've proven it. That our disk program that I have proves that these things, these failures don't occur. I mean, they're less likely to occur. They do occur. They can occur. Okay, but when you spread your risk by betting multiple of them, that's when we're trying our very best to mitigate any chances of getting the reverse engineering curse. And that's how we're trying to get by betting as many as we can. Okay. All right. So we reset the spin counter. Okay. We're at 12 units of, 17 units of profit. Okay. We're still at 5. We're still betting 5. So we're going to go back and we're going to do 7 bets again. So let's go ahead and keep going. Statistical picture is improved. Now we're out of the woods. So let's keep going here. Okay. And number 5. Okay. Number 26. All right. Number 12. I think right here is we're going to get number 3, I think. So that's number 22. Yep, there it is. Number 3 has just awakened. Or it's not awakened, but it's become a sleeper. So what we're going to do is now, again, diversify our risk. Okay, we've now added another chip. So now we're betting 6. So we need to update the progression calculator. So now we're going to choose 6 and run. Okay, now 5. Okay, so we have 2 more spins. See how it updates the progression, and we can go. We know we're on spin number 3, so then we know that we're doing fine. We're going to bet 1 unit for 2 more spins until 5 spins. Okay, so that's how that's done. I'm glad you were able to see that. Okay, and let's continue. Spin number 4. Okay, it's 20. Woo, we just got another one. Okay, what number was it? Number 7, it looks like. Okay, great. So let's update that. We're betting 7 numbers now, so our risk is further diversified. All right, and now we have 1 more spin at level 1. See, it's right here. It just tells you. You have to trust me. um, and all right, so here we go. Last spin. Okay, so number 15. Okay, now we're going to double and bet. We're going to bet at least once. So here we go. And number 4. All right, and we're actually going to bet twice. So the progression said twice. So here we go. All right, number 12. All right, and now we're going to bet 3 units twice again. So we're going to add 1 unit to every stack. Okay, so we're going to bet twice again. Here we go. Spin 8. Number 12. Okay, and spin 9. Ooh, number 24. Ooh, we just got another one. Okay, so this is very interesting. And let's see, what number is it? 35? No. 27? Yeah, it is. Number 27. Okay, so we're going to put 3 units. And we're going to update to 8 now. We're now betting 8 numbers. And, okay. We're on spin number 9. So just look on the progression. Okay. So now we're going to be betting 6 units on 8 spots. So we're going to go up to 6. Okay, so we're betting a total of 48 units now. And we're betting 8 numbers. So here we go, spin number 10. Okay, 17. Alrighty. Okay, so now I'm going to bet 8 units. So we're just going to add 2 units to the entire selection. Okay, here we go, spin number 11. Okay. And we're going to now bet 13. No, 10. Two more. Okay, now we're going to be betting 80 units. So here we go. Bingo. Here's 35. All right. And that number has awakened. Number 35 has awakened. And so we're going to continue that. Now we have, that's a sleeper. This number is awakened, number 0, and number 35 awakened. There's no, it doesn't tell you, but I mean, it doesn't matter that we know or not. It just tells you to bet it. So, okay. So now that we've hit, we're at 87 units profit now. And that was pretty fast, right, on this video, all the blabbering I've done. We're going to take everything down to 1 unit. Okay. And number 18. And number 7. Number 9. Okay. Number 3. And number 0. Okay. So, we're betting 8 units. Okay, which means we now are going to bet 4 times before having to raise. We're going to bet 4 times here. So here we go. Now things are going to start hitting more frequently because we've got the statistics are starting to get better and better and better. So the longer these sessions go, the better off we are. So here we go. Number 25. Okay, number 21. Bingo. Number 9. Okay, now we're up 99 units. Okay, we just reset the counter. All right, here we go. Number 34. 25. 16. And one more. Number 2. Okay, so that's 4 bets. And now we're going to double and bet twice. So here we go. First one. And bingo. Bingo. A awakened. The 0 awakened. All right. So that was awesome. And there it is, 123 units. So that's how it works. You see how our risk was diversified? So, I mean, this absolutely, I think this is like what I've been searching for forever. And what the only thing that's in my way right now, because this is like a totally awesome winning system right here. Okay, the only thing that's in my way is the session where we have a bad set of numbers and they're just not coming in. Okay, in other words, we've hit the engineering curse, the reverse engineering curse, and we've run into like the darkest side of the roulette wheel that is possible, and we're out down in the very darkest, and nothing has come in. And the question is, when does a session become that? Okay, and that's what I have not figured out yet, because then once we figure that out, we know to stop at a particular point and then begin recovery. In other words, we start betting 2 units at a time instead of 1. You know, and that should pretty much kill this beast right here. If I can pretty much figure out what a lost session is, where we should stop and restart, I think that's going to be very helpful. So at least we documented a downswing on this video. Not a huge downswing, but we documented something of a downswing so we could see. I think we were down like 300 units at one point. So anyway, I'll watch the video again, and of course any input from anybody, but it would be great. But this is, did you notice how the progression went? Did you notice how we started at, what was it, like 4, and then we went up, and then we went up, and then, you know what I mean? And now we're betting 7. Oh yeah, 0 was removed. Okay, so let's do that just for the video. Remove 0. And we go back to 1 on everything. So if I just clear this out and I go and I can just rebet from the screen, right? Number 3, number 7, number 9, okay, number 18, number 27, number 30, and number 35. Okay, so that's right there. And now we're betting 7 See, you can see we're betting 7, and the system did that. It removed the highlighting. So that's why it's good to use the screen and not just go from the board. Use the screen to place the bets when you go back down to 1. That way we don't mess up and actually bet 0 when we're not supposed to. Okay, this could be a hot 0, sure, but you know, I just rather stick with the fresh ones. Put that way. All right, so there we are, 123 units. 1, 2, 3. Easy as ABC. 1, 2, 3. One ABC. 1, 2, 3. Easy as 1, 2. All right. Anyway, thanks. See you later. Oops. Milk and cookies. Anybody?